foods. Let's talk about some of the top foods for people who have tuned into this point. They want to include, and this is beyond eating a healthy diet of whole foods, but specific foods that have special properties when it comes to fixing and maintaining a healthy metabolism.
Okay, so first of all, let me set the stage by saying I'm a researcher and a doctor who studies food as medicine. Food as medicine has become kind of a common label, but I've been doing this for well over a decade. And I can tell you, food as medicine researchers like me, what we're trying to do is understand what's inside of food. And when you eat it, how does your body respond to what you're feeding it? And what are the consequences? Do you get healthier or do you get sicker? Now, so much about food historically has been about guilt, shame, and fear, right? And we tend to focus on what foods we should eliminate and talk about all the bad things, whether it's soda or chips or sugar, all that kind of stuff. People vilify that stuff, and it's okay, when there's real evidence supporting it. But the problem is, it gets really tiring to hear vilification all the time. It's a very negative approach. So what I've done is I've actually gone the other direction to say, okay, look, there's plenty of people studying what you shouldn't eat. What should we be eating? And is there any way that we can tie in the things that we should be eating, can be eating, with joy, the things that actually bring us joy, that we love to actually eat? And this is actually where the wonderful research has brought us to this day, is that we now know when it comes to your metabolism and your other health defenses in your body, your circulation, your ability to regenerate and heal from the inside, your gut health, your natural ability to slow down cellular aging at your DNA level, and also your immune system, right? These are all health defenses, and your metabolism sits all on top of all of these things. It turns out that you can just go to the ordinary grocery store and follow what the researchers have discovered, which is that when you go into the produce section, there's plenty of foods that are great for you. I'll just list off a couple of them, and I can tell you for every food, we actually are beginning to discover exactly what the compounds are. Natural chemicals, we call them bioactives. What are in them that actually are good for us and how they fight body fat and improve your metabolism. Walk into the produce section. You see the fruit, apples, pears, pink grapefruit, mangoes, papaya, watermelon. Yes, they all have fructose in them, but also they're very nutrient dense. They got dietary fiber, and they've got bioactives like lycopene and chlorogenic acid and hesperidin and aerogenin. All these Greek words I just pronounced for you, guess what? They all fight body fat. When you eat them, ironically, you can eat foods that contain substances, natural chemicals, that will actually pound on your body fat, and they will also spark your brown fat. This is another kind of fat we haven't talked about yet. Good fat that will light up. It's like a space heater that will flare up like a space heater. And when it actually flares up, it draws energy. Good fat draws energy. Brown fat draws energy from bad fat, from visceral fat, and it burns it right down. And so other foods that are good, hot chili peppers, red bell peppers, mushrooms, turmeric. The turmeric root you can actually find in the grocery store. Oh, leafy greens, broccoli, bok choy, broccolini, broccoli rabe. Go over to the other section. Onions, garlic, scallions. These are all things that, tomatoes, forgot about tomatoes, all kinds of tomatoes. So if this sounds like, I could probably make a nice lunch or a nice salad, or I could make a stew or a soup, or I could go to an Italian or Mediterranean recipe, or maybe go an Asian recipe. I could whip something up in a really, really tasty way. That's the point. These traditional, healthy cuisines from the Mediterranean and Asia have figured out thousands of years ago how to pick and choose the ingredients that, when combined together, are not only tasty but are good for your health if you eat them at the right time in the right way. All right. Now, what we have today, though, is this real spanking new cutting edge science, smoking hot science that gives us the why and how of why we should choose these. So go around the grocery store. We talked about, fresh plant-based foods, but it's not just that. You can wheel into that forbidden middle aisle, which, remember, people used to say, shop only on the perimeter of the grocery store. Okay, even I believed this before I got into food as medicine research. But I'm telling you, the research shows us it is absolutely perfectly fine to go into the middle aisles. Okay, I'm giving you permission to do it. In fact, I'm telling you to do it. But what I call it, and this is a whole chapter in my book called Treasure Hunt. That's the name of the chapter. And I'm saying go into the middle aisles to look for the treasure. Watch out for the fool's gold, because there's stuff there that is not good for your metabolism, not good for body fat, not good for your health defenses. But go for the real gold so you can pick out the real treasures. What are some of them? Lentils, navy beans, dried mushrooms, dried chili peppers, spices like peppermint, turmeric, cumin, coriander, oregano, tomato sauce, tomato paste, tinned fish, mackerel, sardines, oysters, clams. You can actually go to olive oil. Then look for the pickled section. There are prunes, dried prunes, also really good. Oh, middle aisle, dried nuts. You can buy nuts in bulk. Walnuts, pecans, cashews, almonds. You can buy all these in bulk, and it's actually really good for you. Oh, did I mention soba noodles made with buckwheat and barley? If this sounds like kind of like a cruise through the middle aisles of the grocery store that you might not be sure what you should actually get for health. I just gave you a clue, and there's a ton. There's a whole chapter about middle aisle foods, and so in total, I literally take people on this tour of the grocery store for 150 different foods that have been shown in the laboratory and in human studies to actually help your metabolism by fighting harmful body fat.
If you enjoyed that clip, press here for the full episode. I'll see you over there.
60 can be the new 20 if you follow your metabolism. And it's the problem of excess body fat that actually shuts down, sits on top of our metabolism. So it's not that a slow metabolism causes us to grow body fat and